Oh my God.
This is amazing.
Waiting for it to pick up. Will Haynes.
Yeah. Where the heck is Wait a minute?
For that orchestral backing.
Wow.
Might be my new favorite.
That is amazing.
Do you
Yeah,
want to
that
know
was
why
incredible.
that's really hitting me in the good spot right now? Is that I rediscovered Kait and Cambria this week, and I've been just digging in and diving in, and I
Nice.
love it. And this isn't exactly a perfect equation. That's a little bit of a different style, but it reminded me of it. So thank you for that.
You know why it hit me in the hard spot, Joe? Because it brought up something that I love to talk about, which is patreon.com/the Valleyfolk, where we encourage you to go join and have a good day.
There's a lot of good stuff there.
That
Very
intro was brought to us by a Reddit user by the name of It's the Good Looking Guy.
Ooh, it's
no
a good
G
name.
in looking. It's
Good
just
name.
Good Looking Guy. And his name on BandLab, which I've never heard of before, is Avenoir. Avenoir.
Go check him out.
Check them out, folks. And also, that style of music, that like, what do you call that? Like metal? Is that just straight like screen like?
Is that like a thrash?
That's like
Thrash, yeah.
hardcore metal.
Hardcore metal,
yeah,
yeah.
it's a metal. I think it's metal. Yeah.
Any
It's
like
like
I've-
late 90s, early 2000s.
yeah.
Metal is like very amazing.
Exactly. I was kind of gonna say, like, I don't listen to it, but I know that like anybody who does typically is the nicest person in the world.
Yeah.
And also, that music itself is like, there is something about it that I do enjoy, even though like I can't quite get there with it. Like I respect it from afar.
And I always find that the guy that can
With my
do that
earplugs.
type of like growl singing
Yeah.
is always
Yeah.
an unassuming guy that you don't expect to
Yeah.
be able to do it.
This is my hot take about metal. Metal is the modern day symphony.
Mm.
And the reason why I say this is because we don't have any we don't really have new symphonies.
Yeah.
We don't really have new like concertos. Like no one's out there
Unless you count like movie scores, are probably
sure.
the closest.
Movie scores are the closest for sure, but nobody's like
Nobody's popping a CD
no
in.
one's like a Beethoven, and no one's going to see them perform their new music that is from nothing.
I would say Rivers Cuomo is like a Beethoven.
Sure. I mean, you could say that a lot of musical artists today. Dude, Rivers wrote some good shit.
Oh, it still does. Yeah,
I don't disagree with you on
Yeah.
that. That's why I didn't laugh.
I see where you're going, Steve. I know that there is that stuff out there. It's just not on our radar.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I really do think metal in some way is kind of like the progression of orchestration. Because, dude, metal is incredibly complicated music. And it's symphonic. It's like a symphony. There's like the drum beats are double bass drums, and it's like the timing is so incredibly unique and precise and difficult, and then the guitar riffs are insane, and
I'm with both of you.
I'm telling you.
Like what you're saying is fascinating, but I'm also agreeing with Joe going, huh.
No, metal is
if you're
I'm
saying that
learning a
about
lot.
metal, I feel like you can say that about a lot of music.
Yeah, but like there's a difference between a group of guys organically creating these sounds and creating these orchestrations from instruments, as opposed to like a guy computing everything on a laptop.
I also would argue that rap is the closest to like poetry, because
Sure.
it strips down. It makes music is like the whole idea of rap is that you
Right.
can come down to the most simple, like the opposite of a symphonic type thing. It's
Sure.
the most simple thing, and then you add over it, and it's like
Music is cool. That's
Music
basically what we're
music
saying
is
here.
fucking cool,
Yeah.
but metal I have such a respect for. I have such a respect for metal.
Where I get my respect for what you're talking about is I consider it a guitar player that can just go like
Yeah.
their fingers are going 7,000 miles an hour. They're wizards to me. Those aren't real people. the fact that you can
when you see
do
their
that,
fingers are just like
Yeah.
or like
Yeah.
when you watch the like Muse or something when Matt Bellamy does his little thing with the
You guys need to hear just really quick. I have to play this for you guys because I feel like we're on the same page about the appreciation of metal. But I don't know if you guys are truly understanding
I'm
the
definitely
complexity of creating a metal
understand
song.
the complexity of it.
Anyway, guys, welcome to the Valleycast. This is this is a podcast from the Valleyfolk where we each bring a topic to the table. And Steve, you have a topic that you're very excited about.
Yeah. I'm sorry,
but we have the blurb from the guy.
I want to
too.
read the blurb from the guy. It's the good-looking guy to round out our metal talk here. The guy that wrote the intro.
I can't wait. And
This
thank
is-
you.
This is what he says about the
I love
intro.
System of a Down.
This intro has everything: music, yelling, jokes, Patreon, plugs,
He's doing an SNL reference
Singing.
as a blurb.
slow descents into madness, tiny Matt Damon, 90-year-old drug mules, the cha-cha slide, William Haynes, Pringles, $5 footlongs,
Oh my God.
amputees, Ben Folds 1 through 5, cheap hotel rooms, that noise Don Knotts makes, your mom jokes, discount deep dish pizza, floaties, drunk moms, old VW vans, Antiques Roadshow, what is that, a coffee machine, and everyone's names. Also, I'm proud of this song, so even if it doesn't get used, I hope someone out there enjoys it.
I'll
guy-
put it on my phone.
This guy is funny. The highlight of that blurb was Ben Folds 1 through 5. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
That's a good joke that I'm really disappointed that we didn't make.
Yeah, Ben Folds 1 through 5 is very funny.
Send us your intros and stuff. Don't stop doing that, please, because we love those, and that's great, and we love to showcase your guys' art and shit, too. Anyway,
Speaking of showcasing y'all's art, one of our tiers includes our highest tier that we have on Patreon. Before we dive in, has there's a perk where we shout out some of our patrons and the projects that they're doing right now. All right, everybody, we got a shout out coming at you by way of Glenn Peterson. That's at GE Peterson on Instagram. That's at G, the letter E, the letter P, and then Eterson on Instagram. Why? Well, guess what? He just started a photo website. It's codemaistrosnap.com, and he's doing a giveaway. How fun is that?
Love him.
He's committed to his photography website and his Twitter feed at the moment, and he's new, and he's trying it out his first thing. And if you want to see what it is, and if you want to get it, if you want to get a free thing, go check it out, and go also support him because he's one of us. He's one of our friends, and he's a good person. And so you want to go and you want to check out his photo website. That's codemaistrosnap.com, and check him out on Instagram at GE Peterson, and make a friend, because you know what? It'd be nice if the people who were our audience were able to kind of like
Hang out.
yeah,
be
kick it.
friends.
yeah, and I like that element of the shout out as well, and also photography's cool.
Yeah.
So
That Glenn guy is going out on a limb and trying something new. Go support him and go see the world through Glenn's eyes.
Well said, Joe. Okay, so I just need to preface this by saying that I did talk about this on Dynamic Banter, but like I'm gonna bring this up with everybody I know forever, because this is like my new favorite thing right now. So forgive me for those of you that also might listen to Dynamic Banter and think I'm an insane person for talking about this again. But anyway, listen. Jose Canseco.
oh my gosh, heck yeah, let's talk about it. Yeah,
Oh.
for sure, hell yeah. I am so excited.
I know.
Yeah.
I can't wait because this is my chance to talk
Did
to you
something
guys.
new happen with
Uh-huh.
Jose
Yes.
Canseco?
Uh-huh.
Okay, so I don't know. I don't know.
Something
can't
new
wait.
happened with the human race, Joe.
I
and Jose
cannot wait.
Canseco,
There's
Yeah.
more Canseco news?
So good.
Canseco just busted through the pop culture ceiling.
without asking.
Yeah,
he didn't
without
ask permission.
No, he didn't, dude. He just fucking jumped into the party.
He said, "Don't forget about me, Jose."
And guess what? I will never forget about you now, Jose Canseco.
It's like a pop culture ball just landed on his noggin and went over the wall, and it's a home run. You guys don't know what that means.
I would
wanna-
love to be able to. I would love to. Be
yeah, that was so many sports references, and I just stopped.
I
listening.
would love to be able to celebrate Jose Canseco's like present enjoyment of his limelight that he's now receiving for sure. But I don't think it's a congratulatory thing.
I'm on pins and needles, man.
I think it's
Well,
like
yeah,
it's like
if we want to get into the nitty
uh-oh.
gritty, yeah.
It's like yeah.
What
Is it a whoopsie?
I mean, okay. Well, let
Is
me
it
just
a-
get into this.
is it a
Let's just-
whoopsie?
Let's just get into this really quick. For those of you that don't know.
Wait. See
Okay,
if Joe
sorry.
can kind of mildly guess because Joe doesn't know.
I mean, Canseco's done
So let's say
much
Jose
crazy
Canseco started
stuff.
tweeting stuff. What do you think that would make the entire world be like, what is Jose saying now?
I mean, you're giving him too much.
Okay,
I
but
gotta
I
just
know,
do
but-
it now.
I mean,
Well,
it's like
let's see
political.
what he says.
It's,
Give him a chance.
it's either the flat Earth, global warming, something along
I
those
gave him
lines.
too much.
Politics.
I gave him too much.
Yeah, you definitely gave him too much. Jose Canseco, for those of you that don't know, was a professional baseball player, and was like in the 90s.
He's like a Bash brother.
Right.
Yeah.
And he was in the 90s was his prime, I think. The 90s
Yeah.
was his prime.
He was like a name that I remember in my childhood, like embedded
Yeah,
in my
same.
childhood.
If we're gonna be honest about it, it's just a cool freaking name.
It's a cool
too bad
name.
he's a
It
joke.
is a cool name, yeah.
It's a cool name, and also I think he was a badass, right?
He
must
was
have been.
well, yeah.
If his name
him and
got
Mark McGuire.
if his name got into my head, which does not let any kind of sports in whatsoever, then this guy was something in the 90s for sure.
Yeah, him and Mark McGuire were the Bash brothers, and they were on the Oakland A's together.
Oakland
I didn't know that.
A's. Okay, so anyway,
Well, obviously I didn't know that. Like that's a shock about any baseball fact.
It's just a cool name. That's just a name. Jose Canseco could have been in any sport, and you would have known his name. He could have been a freaking cricket player, which had no American was on the cricket radar, but you would have been like, Jose Canseco, cricket player.
And who was the other one?
Mark McGuire.
If the lead singer, Sugar Ray.
Yes, 100%.
Okay, so Jose Canseco, I guess, went on to become a wrestler, or a boxer. He started boxing.
I don't know about.
I'm pretty
he
sure-
became a joke of himself fairly quick.
Anyway, I think steroids might have been come into play, and maybe some other stuff. Who knows? But what we do know is that Jose Canseco is alive and well.
He's alive.
He's alive, and he tweeted out on January 30th, which was just 2 days ago
Very recently.
from this recording.
Yeah.
Yeah, just start reading it. As sincerely as you can.
Jose Canseco, January 30th.
Yeah, this is good.
We are in communication with aliens with a very flexible body composition called the AL51.
This is so bad. It's so bad to laugh. It's so bad.
Is that it?
No, Joe.
No, that's not it. That's not it, Joe.
Oh, Joe.
Joe, buckle up, buddy.
L51.
Buckle up.
All right.
Do you want me to read that one again before
No,
I move on?
I'm on board, man.
Okay.
He's also right.
Are you able to?
Which we'll talk about later. but-
I would just say, Joe's like, I'd like to say, finally somebody's saying it.
I mean, he's First of all, he's right. Jose Canseco, same evening, January 30th. Almost immediately after. You guys want times on these?
Oh,
This was
no.
7:16 a.m.
Starting off the morning, right?
These aliens are going to teach us how to try and travel. The brain can physically travel without the body.
Great. This is all positive. I don't know why you guys are making fun of him. This sounds like that's some cool shit.
And then he tweeted, aliens have been trying to teach us how to time travel, but first we have to change our body composition, which we are not willing to do. We have tried with animals, but it has failed.
Okay. Yeah, this is all tracking you guys.
Next tweet, time travel puts 42,651 pounds of pressure on a human skeletal structure.
I would have guessed 42,655, which is so, like, I was close,
I think
but
he
I was a
rounded
little
it
off.
out. He rounded it out on the
You guys,
lower
the
end.
specifics are too specific to be fake.
Can you detach the brain from the body and equalize the pressure? It could be done. Then he tweeted, our science is totally irrelevant to aliens. And that's the last thing he's tweeted since January 30th.
So it sounds like you guys are making fun of him.
I mean, I'm not making fun of him.
Look, I'm gonna make fun of him. I
I
don't
be
give
the
a fuck.
can
You
I
know
be the
what? It
first to
sucks,
say-
and he's definitely unhealthy. And I get
Something's
that. Like,
wrong.
I'm not trying to make light of somebody being in dire straits. I think that's a terrible thing. However,
This is amazing.
that it's incredible.
It's amazing.
and I can't
It's
get.
amazing.
Yeah, my level of compassion stops at aliens have an exoskeleton called AL51.
Here's
like
the
I
thing.
can't
Can I
get.
just-
I'm
I
gonna
can't
give
break
you
through
guys-
that. I'm
Can
not
I
that
just
good of a
say?
person.
Can I just say that this falling into my lap the other day, like I became the Michael Jackson eating popcorn gif. Like I just was like, I cannot wait.
Uh-huh.
Because it's almost like when you found out that Randy Quaid is fucking bonkers.
Yeah, he's an angry man.
Dude, Randy Quaid is bonkers.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
lost his mind, and he was one of the funniest motherfuckers of
Yeah.
his day, and he killed it in Independence Day, literally, and
Killed those aliens.
he killed the aliens in Independence Day,
Yeah.
and he was amazing in all the National Lampoon movies, and he's funny in fucking almost everything he has been in since whatever, and he's bonkers, and then you find that out, and you're like, oh, man. But then you're like, all right, what does he got to say? Let's hear what he has to say.
Yeah, I'll read every one of them.
And so that's what this is. This is like Jose Canseco comes out of nowhere and is suddenly speaking in incredibly detailed terms about aliens and time travel.
I
Yeah.
am going to give you guys access, my password to all of my social media, and we are going to make a blood pact. And as soon as my brain starts to go, you'll see one tweet or something. You guys,
we're going to
delete
start doing that?
my access to social media. You guys just take it over. You
Wow.
don't let me do this. I don't want to be Jose Canseco.
Jose Barreto.
But I mean, I think you're on the right trajectory to being a fairly level-headed man.
Imagine though, if you were to guess somebody who is obsessed with literally figuring out time travel, it would be somebody like Jose Canseco. It would be somebody who ascended to the absolute height of pop culture and is now in some way going like, how do I get back?
yeah, how do I recapture that?
Like if we're gonna dissect, if we're gonna play like armchair, like what's going on here, it's gonna make sense that he's just like messed up, especially if you
Yeah.
combine that with like the potential steroids and drugs and
and
all
it's
that.
certainly not the first person to surmise that time travel is possible and they know how it works.
Yep.
And you have I'm giving you 100% permission. You can use this audio clip verbatim to absolutely ridicule my insanity tweets before I go, or like before I go insane. I'm giving you 100% okay. Like I'm giving you permission to make
Please.
the fuck fun of it.
It
'Cause,
does kind of
yes,
inspire me to be like, what if I just got on Twitter and actually started tweeting the things that I think and like didn't worry about any, like if I was just like,
Yeah.
you weren't trying to make jokes.
yeah, because I also feel like we all view Twitter as a comedic platform. I like don't care about it anymore, but I love stuff like this. I love
Yeah.
consuming Twitter.
Yes.
But I don't give a crap about tweeting. But if I were to like, there's something to be said for just being like, bam, here's everything. Here's all the crap. that
Here's
I
my
think.
thought right now.
Yep. Yeah.
I
Come what
love
may.
it. I really love it. I mean, I think a lot of people talk shit about how the internet ruined our society or ruined everything, and the spreading of knowledge in such a fast way is the downfall of humanity or whatever. But man, the internet has given us some fucking real funny shit that just brought so much joy to my life.
Oh man.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm here to talk to you a little bit about something called Squarespace.
Squarespace.
You ever heard of an all-in-one?
No.
Let me tell you what an all-in-one is.
Okay.
It's everything you want in one place, and that's what Squarespace is.
Hot
Love
dog.
that.
For domains, websites, online stores, and marketing tools.
I don't want to use
Guys,
Tell me more.
Squarespace has a new feature. Are you ready for this?
I'm ready.
This is very exciting. It's called email campaigns.
What is that all about, Steve?
Well, I'll tell you, you can stand out in any inbox with Squarespace email campaigns. Our all-in-one platform makes it easy to unify your brand voice from your homepage to your emails. Consistent content from website to email, powerful editing tools to make it your own, customizable layouts for any message, mobile editing so you can send anytime, anywhere. And let's not forget the things that you can already just do with Squarespace, which is you can create a beautiful website to turn your cool idea into a new wonderful thing.
Got an
Showcase your
idea?
work.
What's your idea, Elliot?
Oh, I have an idea for refrigerator magnets that are edible, so you don't have to go into the fridge
Bam.
for food.
Make a website.
Wonderful. And you could probably just call it
Edibles.
Refrigerate.
Refrigeratables.
Refrigerate.
Oh,
Refrigerate.
Refrigerate.
Refrigerate. Yes.
Yeah.
Refrigerate.com.
There we go.
Refrigerate
Use your
is very
Squarespace.
You can also showcase your work, blog or publish your content, sell products and services of all kinds, and promote your physical or online business. And Squarespace does this by giving you its beautiful templates created by world-class designers, so you don't have to worry about the design of your website. And hey, how about that powerful e-commerce functionality that lets you sell anything you want online? Not to mention the ability to customize the look, feel, settings, products, and more with just a few clicks. Guys, it's very easy to use. Even Mike Falzone can use it. And let's not forget about their 24/7 award-winning customer support. There's no reason to not check out.
What's your job? What's your hobby? What's your interest? Make a website about it.
Absolutely. So, guys, how about you go to squarespace.com/Valley for a free trial. And when you're ready to launch, use that offer code VALLEY, that's VALLEY, to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. Thank you so much, Squarespace.
Thank you, Squarespace. Tag me in here, Steve.
Joe, you're tagged in.
Boom. Oh, keep that good music going.
Okay, I was going to do a new one.
Okay, well then I'll wait a second.
Okay,
This is okay. Let's wait a second. And hey guys, Valentine's Day is right around the corner. Rather than spending all that money going out to fancy restaurants, why not just hang in your underwear all night, courtesy of MeUndies? MeUndies uses the coveted micromodal fabric, which is 3 times softer than cotton. This fabric genuinely feels like actual heaven against your skin. Those aren't words that I'm just saying. Those are things that I'm feeling right now, and it's the truth. You can also get a style that is perfectly suited for you. Men and women can each choose from 4 different cuts, all of which are available from classic colors to adventurous prints. I like adventurous prints. Elliot's more of a
Basic
classic
color.
color type of guy.
Dark
and
color. Keep it looking nice.
Steve is Steve.
I can't stop playing the flute.
Don't stop, baby. Speaking of prints, this V-Day season, MeUndies will be releasing a new print every Tuesday. That means you and your loved one can chill in matching prints for V-Day. That's adorable. And play the game of how long can we keep these on? Not very long if you're doing it right. But why stop at undies? This year, MeUndies is launching their V-Day prints in lounge pants and onesies as well. Both are made from the same micromodal fabric as their undies. Why not cover your whole body with that good heavenly feel? MeUndies has a great offer for our listeners. For any first-time purchases, when you order MeUndies, you get 15% off and free shipping. This is a no-brainer. Get 15% off of the most comfortable undies you will ever put on. To get your 15% off of your first pair, free shipping, and 100% satisfaction guarantee, go to MeUndies.com/Valley. That's MeUndies.com/Valley. Thank you, MeUndies. We love you. Seriously.
We love you, MeUndies.
You're the damn bestest.
MeUndies. When I see that underwear in my laundry, gonna have a good time. I also got the Valentine's Day underwear, and it is real good.
I've got zero other underwear in my...
The folks who are listening to or seeing us on the video just had a, here we go, folks. We'll tell you later. When you're constantly on the go, grinding away at the office, or hanging out with friends, there's not much time to think about upgrading your style or apartment. Well, let me tell you about a little thing called Box of Awesome from Bespoke Post. You can get a new one every single month. They're absolutely fantastic. These guys are out scouting for quality and unique products to send in each box. And now you can experience it too at boxofawesome.com. I did one of these, and I got dope cigars and a cool ashtray and things to light the cigar with and hold the cigars, and they're some of my favorite things. And now my apartment literally looks better because I don't buy furniture for myself, and I have a tendency not to decorate my home. And Bespoke Post and boxofawesome.com made that happen. Visit boxofawesome.com and answer a few short questions that'll help give them a feel for the boxes that'll best go with your style. And if you're in the search for a perfect drink, a well-kept pad, or just setting in style, Bespoke Post improves your life one box at a time. Each box goes for under $50, but has more than $70 worth of unique gear waiting for you. The first of each month, you'll receive an email with your box details. You'll have 5 days to change colors and sizes or add extra goods to your box. If you're not feeling that month's box, then simply skip it. From barrel-aging kits to limited edition cigars, weekender bags to classy dock kits, Bespoke Post offers essential goods and guidance for the modern man. To receive 20% off your first subscription. Hey, can you change my song? I want to die. I hate this. Can you turn it down, or I hit a limit with it. I was like, something in my brain snapped. Oh, thank you. Perfect. It is. To receive 20% off your first subscription box, go to boxofawesome.com and enter the code Valleycast at checkout. That's boxofawesome.com, code Valleycast for 20% off your first box. Bespoke Post themed boxes for guys that give a damn.
I give a damn. Do you give a damn? Okay. Thank you to Squarespace. MeUndies.
please.
And
I
bespoke
can't.
post. Thank you so much.
That's what it is. That's the bad one. That's the genre I don't like.
I was having a conversation with my daughter about what is the best chip, and it got heated.
Potato chip?
Potato chips in general. Potato chip, chips,
Corn-
whatever.
corn
yeah,
chips?
a chip.
Rice chips?
Something probably provided by, let's say, Frito-Lay or something like that. So I'm just going to throw it down on the table, guys. What are your 3 favorite
I see what you're
chips?
doing. Because you've
This
noticed
is
for
nice.
some reason people love when we talk about food.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
really do.
If we talk about our favorite.
It's so relatable.
Well,
Yeah.
we got heat. Like it was an intense conversation about what the hell are the best chips. So I feel like we're probably going to get pretty personal here.
I can tell you I'm not a huge chipsman. They're not my favorite thing in the world, but if I were to do chips, I enjoy, and I don't know if you'd count this, you wouldn't because it's a cracker. I would love Cheez-Its.
I don't count that. That is not a chip
Yeah.
whatsoever.
You're thinking either potato or corn-based.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking if I had to guess, mine is the, and this is a 2-parter because it's really more about the dip. I like the French onion dip and the ridges and the Lay's ridges.
Okay, so already that ridge, that ruffle that you're talking
The
about.
ruffle, yeah.
Ooh boy, I mean, what if there's no accoutrement on
Then
your
I
chip?
don't want it.
Yeah.
And if it's just, I don't like regular potato chips.
That's a
I don't
hobbled
like-
chip, son.
Guys,
Yeah, it's a
I
hobble chip.
actually found a list of the most popular chips
Don't you read that?
based on popularity.
Ooh.
Don't read it yet. Let's
Okay, I won't
give
read it yet,
our
but I have it.
let's
Wow.
give our lists and then
Great.
and then we'll read that.
Great.
I
See
hope
where
the
we're at.
first one you just I hope you go number 1. Our science is irrelevant.
The skeletal system can
Yeah.
only handle 14,000 pounds of pressure. Okay.
Here. You know-
okay, go ahead. You
Yeah,
wanna
I'll start off
Go ahead,
just
go ahead.
because I don't know if you guys
Yeah.
realize, but my chip. I think we've talked about it a little bit. My chip history
Oh yeah.
was my upbringing. My dad was a Frito-Lay man. I was swimming in chips. I was the guy that would go to school and I would have not the little like fun size bag of chips, but I would have the medium sized one. You know,
Oh,
like,
yeah.
that was what was in my lunch, and it became my bartering thing. I would get king size candy bars from the king size candy bar kid because I would have the awesome bags of chips.
Wow.
Your dad was a Frito-Lay man, as in worked for actually. He wasn't like I'm a Frito-Lay man, and we're a Frito-Lay family. He was like,
And we will eat nothing but
Yeah.
Frito-Lay products.
He was
like-
made entirely out of Frito-Lay chips.
yeah.
My mom was crazy.
This is
I
your
love
dad.
him
and no one can tell me otherwise.
Kiss his Cheeto lips. No, he delivered like my whole when you're a kid and like there's the first like 6 to 10 years seem like forever.
Mhm.
That was when my dad was a Frito-Lay delivery man. So
Yeah.
forever that's how I associated my
So
father. in
did
that
he
sense.
get free chips
Oh,
because
we
he
were-
was just
yes. Yeah, so
taking
we,
them?
No. They got, I think if I remember correctly,
damaged?
they had a bad there's a horrible
It was like a bad batch.
not a bad batch. There's a
Misprintings and color problems.
no, it's the expiration date.
Oh.
Once it hits that on the bag, which is bullshit anyways, it
Yeah.
has to come off the shelf. And apparently the policy is that you're supposed to just get rid of them.
Yeah. I
Like,
think that's like
toss
the
them.
FDA something or other.
Or,
I guess.
I think it's the company.
OSHA. I wonder if
It's
it's OSHA.
Frito-Lay's just saying
Just
like,
covering their ass.
get rid of it. So I think they take them off the shelf and get rid of them, which is just crazy because those dates are all just like, I'm just gonna guess what the hell
Yeah.
this date is.
Right. It's
And
like
it keep-
medicine.
Yeah,
It
and
doesn't
keeps
expire.
thinking-
Take it whenever you want.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
Well,
I'm
and
kidding,
if people-
kidding.
Medicine, it does expire, but it doesn't, not in the way that we
Yeah.
think it does.
Yeah.
It loses its potency.
I think there's probably
Some of the
also a
games.
monetary reason for it. If we're getting a little conspiratorial, you go, hey, guy that just bought this bag, eat it by this date or throw it away because then you're going to have
Oh,
to
yeah.
buy
Yeah,
some
of
more.
course, of course.
So anyways, we would be swimming in all the extra stuff and my dad would use them to barter. He would barter with the comic book man and yada, yada. So anyways, my history is robust with the chips. So I'll just jump in and give you my list
Ooh,
real
love
quick.
chips. Big
I'll
chip
give you my
guy.
list. Coming in at number...
Do you want some music?
Sure.
What kind of music do you want?
Oh,
no,
that-
you don't get to choose.
Yeah, you just choose one for me. Coming in at number 3 on the Joe Burrell best chip list.
that track.
Is a little bit of a curveball. I think most kids hate it. I hated it as a kid, but then your mouth dies when you're older and you need a little bit more of a kick. Is salt and vinegar potato chips.
Those are your favorite chips
That's
of all
my
time?
number 3.
Oh,
That's
number 3.
Coming in at number 3 is salt and vinegar. It's a nice little kick in your mouth. It's not too much.
You're totally
It's
right,
great.
man. You are totally right.
Kids hate it, but you grow up and then it's like, you know what? My mouth is dead like my emotions, and I just
Yeah.
needed to be zapped a
Salt and
little bit.
vinegar or the I need to feel something chips.
Yep. And that could be any brand, doesn't matter. Then we're coming
Yeah,
in
you
at number.
can't eat too many salt.
I do love the
salt,
kettle, the kind that come in like
Mhm.
slightly
Oh,
round
kettle,
bags.
kettle
Yeah.
cooked chips.
Kettle
the
chips are
best,
good.
yeah.
Coming in at number 2, a little bit of a curveball on the classic corn chip. You think I'm going to say nacho cheese Dorito, but I'm not. I'm not going to say Cool Ranch Dorito. I'm coming in with a spicy Tapatio Dorito.
Yeah, no,
You
you
do
like
love
those.
those spicy Tapatio.
You do like those.
You have that with a beer?
Yeah, that's nice. We've done that, Joe. You and I have
It's
done
so
that.
nice, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's very good.
We've done that naked.
We have.
Yeah.
Yeah, in a
It's
hot
awesome.
tub.
Yeah.
And out of a hot tub.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
And in a hot tub.
yeah, partially out of a hot tub.
Man,
then
this
fu-
is a tough. I'm trying to make my top 3, and
Dude,
it's
tough. I sprung this on you, so it's not fair. You guys
It's
don't have
tough.
to stand by your lists at the end. But for now,
I think I have a list more. I think I have a rounded.
coming
out list,
in
too.
at number 1 is a classic. I attribute the word refreshing to this chip. I don't know why. You would never think that a chip is refreshing, but when I have them, I'm like, that's like a tall drink of water
We're
for
talking about
some
mint
reason.
chips.
Mint chips, water chips.
You're talking about ice chips.
You're talking about them.
You guys ever
Listerine
had
chips.
water chips? It's great at a Super Bowl party, and it's great when you're sitting by yourself crying. Give me some sour cream and onion.
You
Lays.
laced a lot of depression into this chip talk.
You guys don't.
I see.
You guys
what
don't eat
I
chips
get
when
the,
you're
I
sad.
get the refreshing thing.
Sour
now.
cream and onion, just in general.
Sour cream and onion
I
chip.
get the
Lay's
refreshing.
specifically.
Lay specific. Wow.
Yeah, man. So I'm coming in with salt and vinegar number 3,
Dude,
Tapatio
excellent,
Doritos 2,
Excellent list.
sour cream and onion number 1.
Okay.
No ridges, by the way. I think the
I'd like to
ridges
go
fuck
because
with
I don't
things.
want to forget and lose this list. I think my
You
third
need some
is
music.
I like the. Oh, it's coming.
You're kind of biased now because you have access probably to more mentally. You might look at a list and go, "Oh, that's one that
I'm
I
definitely
forgot
not.
about." Okay,
looking
cool,
at a
cool.
list, but you're
This is
right.
a fresh,
I
yeah,
know
yeah.
this is as fresh as I can get. What's this music?
It's perfect.
Number 3 for me is the spiral Fritos, the barbecue.
Oh, those are great.
Yeah.
I know what you're talking
yeah,
about.
they're
They
like
got
little
Interesting.
Fritos twists
they
or
got a
something.
little tanginess to
I
them.
like the tangy barbecue, honey
Some
barbecue
zing.
or whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah,
dude.
and I like the crunch. It's a
Yeah.
really good, thick.
It's a hearty crunch.
That's the thing with the
Hardy
corn.
Crunch.
The
Dude,
corn-based-
that's a good pick.
Yeah.
That's like remember chili cheese Fritos.
Yeah.
Also
Oh,
very
dude, chili
frickin'
cheese
good. They might be
Fritos.
number 4 for me.
Honestly, chili cheese Fritos might be 1 for me, but I'm not sure yet.
Ooh, we'll get there.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure yet. My number 2 chip. It's so hard.
I love this. Is perfect.
Yeah, it's so hard. It's
Hey,
just,
guys. I'm glad this is my job, and I love you very much. Like what's happening now is utterly insane.
Yeah, it is absolutely insane.
Yeah.
Um,
It's so much fun. Oh boy, I'm sorry I sprung this.
I think
on
it's
you.
gonna be Funyuns.
Funyuns, great
Yeah,
choice.
love fucking Funyuns.
Wow.
Fun-
Wow.
yeah, Funyuns are so
Onions,
good.
yeah. Okay.
Frito-Lay
Love
used to also offer pork rinds,
Oh, pork rinds are so
And I-
good.
the thought of them disgusted me when I was a kid, but they were always next to the Funyuns
they're so
on the shelf.
Pork
I'm
rinds are
like,
like that umami, like there's something savory
It's
about
savory,
it, but I couldn't
yeah.
tell you what they really
another
taste like.
another dad food. Like I would be
Yeah.
like, my dad eats that stuff, but kids don't touch it.
Yeah,
A pork rind is just like it's like airy bacon.
yeah.
Yeah.
What do you got, Steve?
What's number 1, baby? Funyuns, great choice. God dang.
I gotta say, man, my number 1 chip might have to be, and this is, it really has been a tie between, for me right now, thinking about it, between Bugles and combos.
Ooh, combo ain't a chip.
Combo ain't a chip.
Combos on a chip? Okay, then it's
Bugle
Bugles.
is barely a chip. We'll let it fly though.
Bugles are chips.
I don't know if they are, but I'll let
What
it
else
fly. Yeah,
would
I
you
guess
call
they're
it?
corn.
Bugles would be
They're
Yeah.
corn
yeah.
chips.
Yeah.
If you count
Love
Fritos, you count.
Bugles.
Love Bugles.
Do you like them because they're fun?
Yeah, and you can wear them
Play
on
my
your
fingers.
fingers. Yeah.
Yeah.
It reminds me of simpler times.
You know what you
too.
should do? You should get a little bag of Funyuns and get a little bag of those Bugles and put them on your
Yeah.
fingers and then
Oh,
play a little ring
shit.
toss.
Wow.
Little snack food ring toss.
What am I doing with the twists? The
Shove
Frito
them right up
twists?
your ass.
Shove them up your ass.
You piece of
You're
shit.
gonna take them and you're gonna shove them up your ass.
You fucking prick.
So Cheetos are number 1 for
Which
me.
ones though?
Straight up the
Not the puffs.
not the puffs.
Just
no,
a
no, no.
regular old cheesy Cheeto.
Yeah, I
they're
love
so
that.
good.
I love when you drink them out of a cup, but at the end party when they're at the bottom, you know, it's like a little or the bag. You drink them out of the bag.
You drink them?
Yeah, you know, you pour them out. You drink them.
You swallow them like a duck.
Oh God,
I
I
don't
was
mean
trying
drink
to
'em.
I was trying to visualize that, and I
Yeah.
was like, I have
You
no
put them in
idea.
a blender. You add some milk and you drink them. What do you
That's
guys? How do you guys
so-
eat your chips? We kind of were talking before the podcast about like getting stuck mentally in certain age groups, and
Yeah.
I was like, I feel like we all kind of have a similar thing of like we feel younger. Do you guys feel at times like you are like going past that or growing or changing or like, and also follow-up question, what age do you feel versus what you are?
What we were talking about, I feel early 20s because that's when life kind of just like really changed for me in every way possible.
Same.
And I think because of that, for whatever reason, I don't know what it is. I don't know what the brain
It's very
reaction
strange.
to that moment is, because for a lot of people it's trauma. If you have trauma, they say that you're stuck in that mental mindset for a long time. And I know some people where I see that to be true. I wouldn't say all of my early 20s were traumatic, at least in negative ways, but there were big changes. So I do feel like I am a little bit behind where I am age-wise in
That's exactly how I
in
feel.
growth. And that's good and bad, I suppose. Like sometimes I feel youthful for a 36-year-old man. And that's good, but then other times I'm like I should be farther in life, and I should be more knowledgeable about certain things that dads should be knowledgeable about, and where I'm at in my professional growth, and without getting into the nitty-gritty of it all. But you know what I mean?
Yeah, not only do I
Feeling
feel
stuck a little bit.
Not only do I feel that way almost exactly, I also have proof that like I wasn't ready for the things that I was like, you know, classified as ready to be, you know, to be prepared for. Like the curriculum, I was never in tune with like the curriculum my age bracket should have been best for.
The
And
little tent poles, the little mile
Yeah,
markers. Like,
yeah, I mean,
you're
just-
supposed to be this way. We kind of talked on that last week. You weren't here for it, but or were you for? It was kind of Lee talking about like people asking her constantly when she's gonna have kids because in their minds they
Yeah,
sort
no, I
of
wasn't
see
here for
Society's
that.
tent poles.
Yeah, society's temple.
Yeah, no, I just think that I mean, and not to say that the curriculum in
my
the
favorite Ben Folds 3 album.
Aha.
Not to say that the curriculum at least in the U.S. is anywhere near like a perfect gauge of, you know, where kids should be and what they should learn specifically, you know. But I never really felt like I was in a place where I was like with everybody when I was in like, and the proof is I was held back twice. I was held back 2nd grade and then 4th grade.
Oh, you mean literal curriculum?
Yeah.
I thought you were using that term as like a cool sort of.
Well,
like,
yeah,
way
you're
of
talking
doing-
about emotional and
Well, I'm
intelligent
saying that I felt the same way
growth.
Joe did about like being 10 years, like feeling 10 years younger than you actually are. But also, I have the proof that when I was a kid, I was
Got
like
you.
not
Kinda, yeah.
ready to move forward.
And it could have been a number of reasons why you didn't. It could
Yeah,
have been
I mean-
emotional. It could have been your intelligence level at the time.
and
Like,
there's
it could
nothing
have been a
wrong
number-
with it.
No.
I'm not ashamed of it at all. It
We're
just
all
means,
here at the same table, baby. I find that a lot of people say what we're saying, and I don't know if you
Yeah.
agree with this,
Yeah,
Elliot. Like,
yeah.
they're like, I feel younger than I am. I hear that a lot.
That's
However,
a pretty typical thing.
I do have a friend that one of my best friends, still very close. When we were growing up, there was always an underpinning of angst. There was some sadness. There was some anger, and it was always there. And now that he's older, now that he's a 36, 35-year-old man, he's mentioned, because I think I was even like, yeah, I have trouble with like maybe this stuff and this stuff, which is typical for a 35-year-old man to experience. And he was like, you know what? I, for the first time in my life, feel like who I'm supposed to be. He has been a 35-year-old man in his mental and an emotional space forever. And that's why he had such a hard time, and why that angst and that underpinning of like negativity was there, because he never really felt like he was in the position of life that he was supposed to be in. He was a 35-year-old man in a 15-year-old's body. He was a 35-year-old man in a 20-year-old's body. And he found happiness, and he was successful. He is successful, was successful, but now he feels like he's wearing the skin he's supposed to be wearing.
That's
Yeah.
more interesting to me than the like, do you feel the age you actually are thing? Because I do think it is a typical kind of response. Is that like even when they talk to people on their deathbed, they're like, I don't feel the age I am or whatever. You know, they it's a very typical thing. But I'm curious. The proof that it can happen, that you can actually catch up to
yourself.
physical and yourself
Yeah.
and mental age is curious to me. And I wonder if there's anybody our age or around our age that feels like they are the age they are?
I would say only as a result of like years of therapy do I feel often like I'm 31. Not all the time, but I also am younger and 31, and I'm also about to be 32, I guess. But I do feel around that age. I feel a little younger because I still have these like self-sabotaging tendencies.
You also have been experiencing younger life tent poles in the last 3 years that you didn't experience when you were a younger
Very
man.
true, very true, yeah. And I know that like in speaking of like the trauma thing that you mentioned, I remember like a year into therapy, I remember my therapist being like, your divorce did traumatize you. He was like, I'm not saying you didn't see, your family wasn't all murdered or something. He was like, but you basically have experienced a level of trauma with that you have to like get out from. And so most of my therapy is literally like, the way he puts it is like, he's like, what you're doing right now is filling out the suit. He's like, you're just trying to fill out, like, you're just trying to get to where you feel like, okay, this is my life. And I felt like that probably started to feel like that kind of in 2018, I guess. But it's still not there. Like, I don't feel like I would say I probably feel like 27, which is right when the divorce happened.
Yeah, I couldn't
and
say
it's still
what
the
age.
traumatic thing. I would argue that the amount of things that happened to you at the same time regarding adult responsibilities would have been traumatic, especially for a 20.
Oh yeah, I
23,
mean it was all
24.
traumatic.
Yeah,
how it happened, both
which
positively and negatively.
would kind of lend itself to that idea of like, oh, you get stuck in these things. It's the same. Maybe that's what it is about success too. When people are, because we're talking about getting stuck mentally in your time of most success, and it's like success or like big success can also traumatize you. Like these good things can just jar you in a way that you
start to
can't recover.
Like
from.
Jose Canseco wanting to travel back in
Yeah.
time
Yeah,
to a
exactly
time when he
like
was
that.
happy.
to the time when he was happy.
When balls were flying off of his head.
Or before balls flew off his head.
Yeah,
just
right?
before.
What was I going to say?
Impossible.
Yes. Success. It's very hard, and I think it's human nature to self-identify with your success, which is why you're saying when you have a big success when
Sure.
you're younger, that's why some people get stuck there, because that becomes part of your personality from an outside perspective, but also an inside perspective, and for
Yeah.
how we're all
Which is also
dealing
kind of
with
like how assholes happen too, I feel like, in a way.
there's probably a billion reasons why an asshole
Yeah.
happens.
Think about the guy who like loved the high school quarterback trope of like the guy who's like, oh, I just remember those days. Like I was a star football player. I was this, and those are always the guys that grow up to like do jack shit.
I was just gonna say that explains the people that are kind of like they've lived in their town forever. It's a small town. They work at this factory or they work in a really boring desk job, and it's just like that's their life because after high school they just like got comfortable and maybe something traumatic happened or maybe something not traumatic happened, but they just kind of felt comfortable in that life.
I think there's something to
Yeah.
that though. That's not necessarily a negative thing.
I agree.
I agree. Yeah, no, I don't think that's a negative.
Well, I
thing
guess
either.
I am talking about the guy who is. I
I'm
think
just
the
saying-
negative aspect is when you do define yourself by a high school era, and I think that. But that's it. I'm not trying to knock on people who are quarterbacks or ascended to heights of happiness during high school. I'm only talking about when in present day, if you continuously are like, oh, those were the days, and you can't find
Yeah,
happiness.
you
in the
have to
present,
move-
That's
yeah.
a
If
negative.
you're constantly looking back and that's all you can talk about or that's all you're focusing on, I'm sad for that person.
My problem too is I look forward a lot. Like I don't get nostalgic at all. I'll get very like I get obsessive over what's down the pipeline or like what or what will happen and like
yeah, I
that
don't really
makes
think
it-
about my past much at all.
Yeah, we've talked about this before. You and I kind of have that like, especially when we talk about our marriages, it's like this whole thing of like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, we just kind of.
I mean, I just see it as a point in my life that had to happen to get me here, and I appreciate and I love where I am. So
Yeah.
it's like
Yeah.
everything else is just it was a bump in the road.
I look back at that guy. He's just a different person.
yeah,
Like,
Definitely.
yeah,
and I
definitely.
enjoyed high school. Like I was the
Me too, yeah.
prototypical guy that I did very well. I played sports, blah 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 blah. I did all that stuff and had success in a lot of realms. But I don't look back on it now as pining for it. Which
Yeah.
thank God, because that would suck.
it would suck. Yeah,
Like I don't
mean,
want
for
that
some
at all.
people, those were their glory days. Those were actually their glory days.
And that's okay. And again, not ripping on anybody, blah 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 blah. But I think life is a healthy balance of appreciating what was, but and living in the present, but also having the mindfulness to, and I'm bad at this, look forward and help shape what's coming. It's the if you get too stuck in the present sometimes, then you're not looking forward, and you may not achieve the new goals, the new glory days.
So in general, how y'all doing?
We're back.
Good, man. Good. I'm
Good.
hopeful into 2019. Feel good and happy, and have a great girlfriend that I love very much, who's very wonderful, and everything's great. Feeling good, man.
Jessica.
Jessica. Yeah,
Jessica's great. I love
Jessica.
Jessica.
Yeah.
Life's heavy. You guys know that. I'm gonna turn it a little bit. I started therapy recently, which I've done before, but I jumped back into it just because there's so much going on, and I think I don't like to get into the specifics of it too much, because I'm a
It's very
firm
private.
believer that my personal life, and for the most part, and more specifically my wife and her story, isn't content. It isn't anybody's business, but she's just sick. We've been dealing with not just cancer, but like 7 different really big things that would drive anybody to madness, and we're getting through that. And
Wow, Joe, I'm shaken right now.
despite all that, we get through, and we persevere, and it's because she's strong. It's because, again, she's dealing. It's not even. You guys know it's not. I'm not being. I'm not over exaggerating when I'm saying she's dealing with literally 5 to 7 things that if you took any one of them, some people would just give up.
She deals with more than I could literally imagine.
Yeah, it's stressful. It's hard. And that on top of starting a new business and trying to keep all this going and keep it afloat, and
then be funny.
And I was gonna say the fact that you're like killing it and it doesn't show in any way that you're living through a literal like.
it's very kind of you to say,
hard.
because that's the other thing. I don't feel that way.
Yeah.
Like it's a like I'm in a constant reevaluation of myself, and I'm never really happy with it right now. But I also can contend. I can also self-reflect that a lot of that disappointment with myself is just due to all the heavy stuff, and it's hard to compartmentalize everything that we're doing.
But know that from an outside perspective, as a friend and as someone that knows you very well, your strength is something that is just it astounds me. Your strength is something that is the most aspiring thing I've ever witnessed personally in my life. That strength is insane that you have, Joe.
It's
And
very kind of you.
You, Joe, will be forever in my mind one of the best, truly objectively speaking, one of the best and strongest men in my life.
Definitely.
To the point that it's
Definitely.
like we go back and forth, and we argue, and I can get very like, this is how things should be, and I then every now and then I like, in different walks of life, I'll be like, okay, I think about like how Joe handles things. I think about the way he makes decisions, and it's always based in love of other people. It's always based in like giving of yourself.
Yeah.
And I think that to the day I die, I will be like, okay, who are the greatest people who've had the biggest impact, and you will absolutely be one of
Oh
them.
yeah.
It's very kind.
And you don't
1,000,000%.
And I think that people who are unaware of that, but I also think they see it. I think there's a reason that people do adore you, like and there's always this sort of thing of like, no, that's Joe, like you are the quintessential man that, and I don't mean that because you like baseball. It's like you're like a true man.
And penis.
Like you've risen to everything.
It's
in
very
my humble
kind.
opinion.
So I don't like to talk
we
about
can
myself,
move on.
so we'll move
sorry.
on. But I do think it is important to say, like, I do believe in the therapy. I do, for if anything, just a vent, because
It's important.
when you're dealing with stuff and you're dealing with it for a long time, you don't want to be defined by it. It's something that I talk to my wife about, and I know it's very hard for her, but I'm like, yes, you're sick. Yes, basically getting better is a full-time job. But don't forget to live, and don't forget to, like, who are you outside of being sick? Because that's important.
Yeah.
And you need to focus on the things that make you you. And I think that's it's the same for me. It's like, don't focus on just being a caregiver. Focus on, don't forget to live. Ruminating is bad if you're ruminating on the wrong things.
Yeah.
Instead, this meditation can work both ways.
Yeah, you'll ruminate on your anxieties. You'll ruminate on your anger, and I've definitely done that a lot in my life. But what you're talking about is allowing yourself to ruminate on happiness.
Yeah.
Allow yourself to ruminate on hope, and if you can do that, that's like a big freaking exhale.
Joe, I've never heard you be this this transparent on publicly, and
I
it's
hate
not
it.
lost on me. I know, and I know you do, and I'm incredibly moved, and I love you, and I'm
I don't like it.
I wasn't intending. I wasn't trying to like force you into a.
No, it's
Well,
fine.
none of this recorded.
Confessional.
So.
It's a good-
great.
Yeah,
It's
so
a good
it was just-
exercise
it was just for us.
for me, and it's a good way to put it out, because I know a lot of people deal with this stuff, and I'm not special in that regard. But it is hard, and I think it's okay to acknowledge that it's hard, and that everybody's fighting their own little battles.
And your story and what you're going through is an incredibly inspiring thing, and inspiring people is one of the perks of this job, I think. And I think I think people should know the hardships that you've been going through,
Well,
Joe. I think
Heather's
it's-
the one that's like really the superstar in it all,
Sure,
because
sure.
what she's dealing
Absolutely.
with is insane, and how circumstances robbed her of her own type of happiness is where it's
right.
The worst.
But she's not on the couch with us, so we're used to. Our
Right,
attention is
right.
on you.
We have you every day, thankfully.
Yeah, but you get Heather on Thursdays,
Oh.
and you'll talk to her.
That's
You
great.
got Thursday nights now?
Yes, I am her father.
Oh,
Gross.
we're
All right.
we're trying so hard
Gross.
to get something humorous out
Uh,
of like,
all right.
No, but for real, like, look, and I'm not trying to make it sad all the time. There is a lot of happiness. The kids are doing great. I've been trying to indulge in them a lot more. Our business is doing great. I think we're doing cool things. I'm proud of the stuff we make.
Yeah.
It's
Things on
just
the
a balance.
horizon.
It's just a balancing
And-
act of
and,
the sinusoidal curve of emotion is like maybe right now I'm feeling a little lower, but I'm working on getting higher. So
Yeah, and we never upset you in the office, and
Never.
make your
You guys
heart-
are
We
perfect.
never make your job hard at all, and it's easy.
we
for
don't
you all.
rearrange shoots last
Yeah.
minute, so I can go to a casino.
Literally,
because-
the only way that we can help Joe is to be better at what we do here, and we never
We've never messed up.
messed up.
yeah,
I mean,
never ever,
Yeah,
never ever ever.
we don't push that on Joe at all. Anyway, guys, thank you
Yeah.
for listening to this episode.
we never add to his burden at all.
that started out with Jose Canseco and ended with
Jose Barreto.
Jose
Yeah.
Barreto.
God, dang, I should have went first after that question.
Yeah.
What a way to end it.
But I love it. I love getting real sometimes.
I
and
didn't expect that response. I mean, but it does seem like we don't talk to each other about how. Anyway, yeah, we don't.
At least not publicly.
Yes.
Yeah, no, I think that's wonderful, Joe. Again, it's inspiring to me on a daily basis, being your friend, and I think it's time. I think inspiring the audience with your story is a wonderful thing
Look,
too.
here's the thing. If I would be living somewhat of a lie if I didn't truly believe about the mantra of this company when we made it and how we're making this.
Sure.
The mantra of Valleyfolk is, friendship, and we've always said we wanted to pull the curtain back a little bit and be honest with the audience, and that's what it is. Sometimes not everything is ha fun times, and that's honestly what a problem that I have with social media is that people curate this image of everything's fucking perfect all the time, and it's not. And I think it's probably more valuable to share some of those real moments, because it makes the better moments actually shine brighter. So.
And I think people should know that our mantra was almost "Don't forget to wipe front to back."
Yes, almost.
which is also.
But then we got
just
a
as
bidet.
important.
Yeah. We couldn't do it after we got the bidet. No, it's what is the actual phrase that I love very much that I'm blanking on right now? Because the world could use some
the
friends.
world could use some
friends.
friends. Yeah. Right now.
Yep.
Just right now, yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, guys, thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank
and-
you, Joe.
and we
Thank you.
appreciate
Thank you guys.
Love you, Joe. Love you, Elliot. And love you, Lee. God bless you. Rest in peace. And
You were hilarious.
you were hilarious. Yeah,
You were the best
Jesus.
of us.
Taken in your
Yep.
prime. But guys, thank you so much for listening. And don't forget to check out.
That's how we announced one of us died at the end of a podcast. I just would say Elliot's
After
not here, but we hope he rests in peace. His funeral's
So
Saturday, I
funny.
think we're going. So,
And after being serious about something else, like how is there something? All right. Well, anyway, guys, thank you so much for listening, and you know where to check us out on the YouTubes and on Patreon.com/TheValleyfolk, and we love you very much, and thank you.
Bye-bye.